In this video, I'll show you how to create and use an SSH key. But first, I'll briefly explain how an SSH key works. This part is optional. If you already know how SSH keys work, you can skip straight to the next chapter. SSH stands for Secure Shell and is a network protocol that lets you transfer data from one device to another in encrypted form. A key pair consists of a private and a public key. Each is made up of a long string of characters. Once a message has been encrypted with the public key, it can only be decrypted with the matching private key. This approach makes SSH a more secure way to access a server than simply using a password. The public key is stored on the external device you want to connect to. The private key stays on the local device you want to connect from. When you request a connection, the following steps happen in the background. First, it's checked whether the public key is stored on the server. The server then encrypts a random message using the public key and passes it to the device the connection request is coming from. The message is then decrypted again using the private key. If the message is decrypted successfully, the connection is allowed. There are different SSH key types. Depending on the type, the algorithm used to encrypt and decrypt differs. The different types are RSA, ED 25519, DSA and ECDSA. DSA and ECDSA are considered outdated and less secure. ED 25519 is considered the newest and most secure standard. If your device doesn't support this type, RSA is the next best option. Next, I'll show you how to create your own SSH key. To do this, first open the command line, PowerShell on Windows, or the terminal on Mac. The basic command is ssh-keygen. You can also use -t to set the key type and -b to set the key length. So for an ED 25519 key, the command is ssh-keygen-t ED 25519. When you press enter, you'll next be asked for a file path where your keys should be saved. In most cases, it's best to keep the default path by pressing enter. If a key is already saved there, you'll be asked whether to overwrite it. In that case, you can confirm with Y, but keep in mind that the old key will be overwritten permanently. So if you want to use multiple keys, you should enter an alternative file path. Next, you have the option to set a password, which will be asked when establishing an SSH connection. Setting a password is recommended, but you can also skip with enter and create a key pair without a password. Your SSH key has now been created and saved at the specified path. 3 files are created. ID_keytype contains the private key, ID_keytype.pub, the public key, and known_hosts contains the fingerprints that are created when you connect for the first time and used to authenticate your device. You can now navigate into the folder with CD, then open the file with the public key using cat and the file name, and copy the entire contents with Ctrl+C. The easiest way to add your SSH key to a cloud server is to do it directly during the server creation process. To do this, scroll to the SSH key section during the creation process and paste the contents you copied earlier with Ctrl+V. You can now finish creating your server as usual. In the menu bar on the left, under Security, you can also see your added SSH keys, or add them there and then select them when creating the server. Now you can connect to the server from your command line. To do this, enter SSH username at IP address. On a new server, the username is usually root. The first time you connect, this screen appears and a fingerprint is created. Confirm with yes. The fingerprint shouldn't change after that. It can, however, become invalid. For example, if you delete your cloud server and then connect to a new server under the same IP address, since this fingerprint isn't deleted automatically. In that case, navigate to the .ssh folder on your local device. Open the known_hosts file and delete the existing fingerprint from it. Then you can connect to your server again and create a new fingerprint. Now I'll also show you how to add an SSH key to a server manually. This can be helpful. For example, if you've already created a cloud server and want to add an SSH key to it afterward, or if you want to add it to a dedicated server. First, open the console on your local device. On Linux and Mac, you can use the command ssh-copy-id user at IP-address. The public key is then copied automatically from the local device and stored in the correct folder on the server. This command makes sure the .ssh folder is created if it doesn't already exist. If you're using Windows, you can use this command instead, which does essentially the same thing. Here you just need to make sure the .ssh folder already exists on the server. In the next step, you then need to enter the server's password. Now you can test whether it worked by connecting to the server through SSH. If you want to delete a key from your server, navigate into the .ssh folder with cd, then open the authorized _keys file with nano and delete the key from the file. Close the file with Ctrl+X and save with Y and enter. If you want to add a different SSH key, you can also copy it directly into this file beforehand. If you want to add a password to your SSH key afterwards, or change or delete the current password, first open a terminal on your local device again. Then enter the command ssh-keygen-p. Enter the path where the key is saved, or if the correct one is already selected, confirm directly with enter. If you already have a password, you'll need to enter it here. After that, you can either enter a new one or skip with enter if you don't want a password. You should now know all the basics you need for using an SSH key. If you have any further questions, you'll find more information at community.hetzner.com or docs.hetzner.com.